not coming, just the brahmacharis in the ashram, that's all.
Oh my God. COVID hits.
Today was the biggest corona day in Jaipur. Yesterday was 350.
Oh my God. Now number are increasing there also very fast, bro.
Rajasthan is 1500 every day.
Oh my God. It is just like Kuwait. Like Kuwait is now something few hundreds, like 400 every day, but their recovery is also good, bro.
Yeah, recovery is good, no doubt.
It is just like Kuwait. Kuwait is now something few hundreds, like 400. So, Prabhu, now we can start.
As you like, you
Yeah,
tell.
but you can do the introduction.
Okay.
Sure, Prabhu. So, Hare Krishna. I would like to welcome Pancharatna Prabhu on behalf of Kanhaiya Dev. Pancharatna Prabhu, with we've named every every country with a spiritual name. So Kuwait we have given a name of Kanhaiya Desh,
Hmm.
like it is given by the Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ISKCON community only. So here I would like to welcome Pancharatna Prabhu. He joined ISKCON. He is a New Zealand origin devotee, and he joined ISKCON in 1981 in Australia. There he was as a profession he was working as a civil engineer, and then later on in 1991, Pancharatna Prabhu came to Jaipur and create a big congregation and very big and sound group, and is spreading the Krishna consciousness in Jaipur. And he built such a good temple that it comes in the Guinness Book of World Record for it has beautiful, amazing work of like depicting 10 avatars of Vishnu Bhagwan. Um, so one must visit Jaipur temple because there we have um, all the like famous temples of Radha Govindi ji, Radha Raman ji, and all the temples are there. So I would like to welcome. We would like to we should chant three times Hare Krishna to welcome Pancharatna Prabhu to Kanhaiya Desh. So Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you for giving us time, Prabhuji. Please.
Good, thank you. So most people here are chanting for quite some time and they're full on devotees. Well, we have a lot of new
Yeah,
people.
yes, Prabhuji. Most of them are chanting for a long time, and mostly majority of the people are initiated ones.
Okay. So we don't have so much time. I guess we'll start straight away. We're going to do seventh chapter, text number 7, because Pundarik mentioned he likes that verse.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And 7 and 8, actually. And I won't read the full purport for sake of time. And English is good. Everybody is good. English, not a problem.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu, English will be good.
Uh, This Zoom platform is much better platform. I've done a few programs on like Google Meets, but it's not so easy. This is much better. So text number 7. Mataha prataram nanyat kinchit ashti dananjaya mai savamidam protram sutre mani gana eva. And the translation reads, there we are. Look at that. The conqueror, O conqueror of wealth, Arjun, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. And beginning purport, by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. There is a common controversy over whether the Supreme Absolute Truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the Absolute Truth is the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. And this is confirmed in every step. In this verse in particular, it is stressed that the Absolute Truth is a person, that the personality of Godhead is the Supreme Absolute Truth, is also affirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchit Ananda Vigraha. That is the Supreme Absolute Truth personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the Absolute Truth is the Supreme Person and the cause of all causes. So there's a little bit of echo in the background there. So here, oh, can you hear that there's some echo coming in the background? Okay, now it's stopped. So this is Srila Prabhupada's mission, you can say. This is Prabhupada's mission. He says that I have come to establish this irrevocable fact that Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Many times, if people ask us, who is God? Krishna. Who is Krishna? God, Bhagavan. But he's more than just Bhagavan. There are so many Bhagavan. Krishna is the original. Prabhupada taught us this. Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. So when people ask us, who is Krishna? We say like that he is the original personality of Godhead. There are other personality of Godhead. Prabhupada gives that example of you have one candle, you use it to light another candle, and more, and hundreds of candles. But that original candle, Prabhupada says, that is Krishna. That is the original candle, the original personality. So Prabhupada says the different avatars and the different manifestation of the personality of Godhead, they are all supreme and they are all single candle power. They are all the same power. But Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. So this verse, Krishna is telling Arjuna very clearly, there is no truth above me. There's no truth superior to me. He's making it very clear that he is the original personality. And then he says, everything rests on me. Everything is because of me. I am the source, the seed-giving Father. Everything is because of me. Everything rests on me. So for us, devotees, there is no doubt. We have no confusion. There's no confusion for us. Prabhupada has made it very clear that who is the original personality of Godhead? That is Krishna. And this is in our preaching. We should be very careful that we, we emphasize that point. Not that just Krishna is God, another God, so many gods, but we should, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not only that he's the Supreme Godhead, he's the original Swayam personality of Godhead. That's very important in our own preaching, and when we meet people, we should establish this point, as Prabhupada said to do. And then here in the beginning, in the purport, then Prabhupada goes on to discuss that there is a controversy between the impersonalists and the personalists, whereas the impersonalists suggest that above Krishna is this impersonal feature. The Absolute Truth is impersonal. They take these verses from different parts of the Bhagavatam, where it says that the Lord has no senses. He's transcendental. And Srila Prabhupada makes the point here in the purport. He has no material senses. The Lord has no material qualification, but he has transcendental senses. So in that sense, yes, you can say he has no senses, no material senses, but it is establishing his Satchidananda form, his transcendental form, that he has spiritual senses and that he is a person. So there's a discussion like that where the Mayavadis, they don't accept. And so beginning immediately, Prabhupada takes the point. Immediately, the common controversy whether the Supreme Absolute Truth is a person or impersonal. As far as the Bhagavad Gita is concerned, and this particular verse, the absolute truth is personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. And this is confirmed in every step. In this verse, in particular, Prabhu says, it stresses the absolute truth is a person. So we should have no confusion there. In this verse, Krishna is saying everything rests on me. It shows that even the impersonal Brahman rests on Krishna, and we understand that is his effulgence, his aura, you can say. It's his effulgence. So we have to learn these things. We have to understand Krishna, we have to understand these points, how the Lord is the personality, that the Supreme is personal, the Supreme is not impersonal. We have to develop this proper understanding, and we need to do that through authority. Of course, Bhagavad Gita itself is authority. Lord Krishna himself is speaking very directly to Arjuna. And of course, we have Srila Prabhupada. He is our authority. He's also teaching us, and we're following Srila Prabhupada and his system and his sadhana and his books. And we're learning that as an authority, accepting what Prabhupada is presenting. Here, Srila Prabhupada mentions that the Supreme Absolute Truth is affirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. So here Prabhupada often tells that if you're looking at any form of knowledge and trying to understand anything in depth, then you need to have some kind of authority. And so we find there are different authorities in the universe, apart from Krishna himself, apart from Prabhupada for us. There's also Lord Brahma. He's also stating this very clearly, that the Ishvara, the Parama Ishvara is Krishna. The original Godhead is Krishna. And so even Lord Brahma, who's in authority, is speaking like this. And then how do we accept Lord Brahma as an authority? We accept Prabhupada as an authority because we understand him, we're reading his books, we know him better, and we follow him. We're following him, but then we have to accept also other authorities like Lord Brahma. If we understand he's the original creator in this universe, he has created, done everything. It's such an interesting story. If you read in the third canto, how Lord Brahma appears on the lotus flower. It's not ordinary person, or Lord Brahma is, a demigod or someone. He's far above even the demigods, right? Living at the very top of the universe in Brahma Loka. And of course, in our universe, Brahma is a pure devotee also, as well as not just the creator of the universe. So here we find Brahma is sitting on the lotus flower, and he's totally confused. A similar situation we're in. We're also confused. We don't know what is right, wrong, upside, downside. We don't really know what's going on. And we're all covered by illusion. We look outside and we see this grand illusion everywhere around us. And we identify with that illusion, and we become a part of that illusion. Sometime if you go in Jaipur, you go on the top of the hill, this Nahargarh fort. So if you go on the top of Nahargarh and you look down over the city, you hear all the noise coming up, the horns going on, and people, you can see people running around backwards and forwards, but you're separate from it. You're not a part of it, right? You're sort of in some little degree, some small degree, a little bit transcendental from it all, and you see it all going down below you, and you're separate. And then later on, you drive down the road, and you drive down Nahargarh Road, and you're in Chandpal Bazaar, and you're a part of the whole thing, and you lose that feeling of being distant or apart from that whole situation. You become a part of it. You become absorbed in it. And as we're in the material world, we identify with everything around us. Right? We identify everything, and we get confused. So Brahma was sitting on the lotus flower. He was also confused. Couldn't understand what to do, what not to do. Who am I? Why am I? What am I here for? He had no answer. Went down inside the lotus searching, couldn't understand, came back again, sat and meditated on the personality of Godhead. It says very clearly in the Bhagavatam, third canto, he meditated, very clearly meditated on the personality of Godhead. And he meditated for 100 years of his years, not ours, his years, 100 years. It's like lifetimes for us. So he meditated, and he had that realization, and the Lord spoke the syllable Om, and he got his understanding and realization and understood his purpose, that he was there to create. Lord Vishnu appears before him and actually shakes his hand. Lord, it's an interesting part I find where Lord Vishnu comes and Lord Brahma pays his obeisances to the Lord and understand you are the personality of Godhead. And Lord Vishnu makes him stand up and then shakes his hand. And Lord Vishnu is saying, I respect and I accept your devotion, your meditation and your devotional service. I am very much impressed. Now let us create. And Brahma gets this idea, this impetus. Now my service is there to create the whole universe. So he begins, creates everything, all the demons, all the devotees, all the different paraphernalia, all the varieties of life. He creates everything. He's not some simple, ordinary person. He's from the beginning of the creation. He is the creator, the secondary creator in the material universe. So highly elevated, highly knowledgeable person. We're interested to hear what people like him have to say. What is his opinion? Otherwise, you come to India, you catch a train from any point to any point. And if you ask anyone on the train, if you ask them what is their opinion about the creation, they'll all give you their opinion. Everybody's got a wonderful opinion. Oh, it's like this, it's like that. They read something here, the grandmother told them something else. Everybody's got some wonderful opinion. But Srila Prabhupada, we are not interested. Prabhupada says, we're not interested in your opinion. We're interested in the opinion of authorities. Who are those great authorities? Those Sapta Rishis, those great authorities, the 12 Mahajans of the universe. We're interested in their opinion. Personalities like Lord Brahma, the original creator in the universe. So then Lord Brahma begins to understand my purpose is understood, the personality of God, it is understood his purpose. And then he prays to the Lord, oh, you have given me such an amazing service to perform, but I feel that I'll become very proud. I may become very proud of my abilities, my understanding, my knowledge. I become proud of being the creator. So you please bless me that I don't become puffed up. I don't become again confused by association with this material energy, all these divine and demoniac natures I again have to associate. So you please protect me. The Lord gives him assurance that you will be protected. You will remain transcendental. So it's a whole Leela goes on. Leela goes on. And this is for us also. We're in the same situation. We also get very much confused. We get very much affected by day-to-day life. And somehow or other, we have to remain focused on the work at hand, isn't it? We get distracted with family and business and work and financial situation and politics. We get distracted by millions of things. But we have to keep focused. For devotee, our main principle of life is developing our Krishna consciousness. That is our main priority. That's our main principle that we have. And then other things, we have so many other responsibilities, even somewhat to nation and to others and to our parents. We have responsibilities, so many responsibilities, but they're actually secondary. They have to be linked with their primary responsibility of becoming Krishna conscious and making sure those around us, they also get an opportunity to become Krishna conscious. So as devotees, we should really strive very hard to keep that focus in our heart. There's of course the story Lord Brahma, since we are talking about him, he also became confused for a little while, for a little bit. At one point he was feeling that exactly as he worried about, he was feeling that, oh, I am the highest of the highest. I'm in Brahma Loka, live longer than anyone else. I have done such an amazing work, created this whole universe and all the intricacies, varieties of life. Everyone is, respects me, surrenders to me. So like that, he was feeling like that. And then at one point there was some opportunity that he would go to meet Lord Vishnu. There was this feeling that he should meet Lord Vishnu and express himself. And so Lord Vishnu understood the heart of Lord Brahma also, and out of his great affection, welcomed him. Lord Brahma goes to Vaikuntha Loka, and he comes to the first gate of Vaikuntha Loka, and Jai and Vijaya standing there, and he comes and he introduces, I have come to meet Lord Vishnu. I've come to meet the four-armed Lord Vishnu. And the Fokumaras, the Jai and Vijay say, oh yes, very good. You're most welcome. Please wait. We'll just introduce. And then they went to Lord Vishnu and they told, my dear Lord, Lord Brahma has come. And so Lord Vishnu says to him, go and ask him which Brahma. So the giant Vijay goes back and said, we have spoke with our Lord and he said to ask you, which Brahma are you? And Lord Brahma was shocked. What do you mean? I'm the only one. I am the secondary creator. I am Brahma. I am the only one. I am Lord Brahma. So he was confused. He got taken aback. Then the Jai Vijay went back to the Lord. And the Lord said, please show him. And then Lord Brahma was in that thinking, how did he ask? Why did he ask like that? And then when he entered the arena where Lord Vishnu was, he could see the Lord sitting on a magnificent throne. And he was surrounded by Brahmas. And he got to, wow, who are all these? And he was only with 4 heads. Some of them had 10, some of them had 100, some of them had 1,000 heads, Brahma, because it's known, and the Bhagavatam explains, our universe is the smallest that there is. Therefore, our Brahma, he only needs 4 heads. Some universes are massive, incredible size, so that Brahma needs 100 heads or 1,000 heads. So then he's looking around and he's thinking, oh my goodness, I've made a mistake. I couldn't understand. And then Lord Vishnu is seeing, because he's a pure devotee, then Lord Vishnu is saying, oh, now you have subdued your ego has subdued your understanding the actual situation. I mean, we can't comprehend even Lord Brahma, what to speak of other universes and thousands of Brahmas and the explanations and the personality of God in himself. But these sort of things give us a small window, some idea. We can have some idea of how small we are and how insignificant we are, when even Brahma himself felt insignificant. But that's an important quality to develop, that level of humility and understanding that, I am not any way supreme. I am not any way special. And then it gives you that appreciation of how wonderful is the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. I mean, obviously, he's in the heart of everyone as Paramatma, and he's there in his own realm. And all those Brahmas from all the millions of unlimited universes surrender unto him. And then, as this verse is saying, and then he even above him, it also goes back all the way to Lord Krishna as the original personality of Godhead. So it gives us an amazing impetus to have more of a bigger picture rather than just the small little picture of, where we are, what am I doing, who's around me, I and my, and how do I affect and who affecting me. But to develop that much broader vision is an important thing in developing Krishna consciousness, having a much wider understanding and a wider vision, not so localized. So we need to do that by developing knowledge and developing humility, that we don't become, again, so much confused. And it's important that we develop very strict and strong sadhana. Very strictly we follow the sadhana. I know in places where you're here in what do you call it now? What's Desh?
Kanaya Desh, Prabhuji. Kanaya
Kanaya.
Desh.
Kanaya. Okay, I got Damodar. Kanaya Desh. Because of you're a minority, so you take it more seriously. A lot of people in India, because the Hindus are majority, devotees are majority, they tend not to take it so seriously. And there tends to be a lot of other thought and a lot of ideas, Mayavad ideas coming in. I guess it was one good factor in the West when Prabhupada came. We didn't have anything else. There was only what Prabhupada gave. So there was nothing else influencing devotees' thoughts. There was no Mayavad or there was no other ideas coming in. We just had what Prabhupada gave. So that idea where Srila Prabhupada says the Mridanga teacher, he's teaching a person who doesn't know Mridanga at all, never ever touched a Mridanga. So the Mridanga teacher says, I'll charge you 100 rupees. And then the person who says, yes, I have practiced so many times, I know very well Mridanga. So he says, okay, I'll charge you 200 rupees. And then he's confused. Oh, I already know so much, so it'll be much easier for you. You should charge me less. And then he said, no, because first I have to unteach you what you think you know, and then I have to teach you. So it's double the work, so 200 rupees. And the other one, he doesn't know anything, so it's just 100 rupees. So we're a bit like that some way, that we don't really know much. And if we come to Krishna consciousness, if we come to Prabhupada's books, we should feel like that. We should actually have that mentality. Whatever we think we know, we should give it up. We should abandon all varieties of religion and whatever we think we know and how intelligent we think we are. We should just have an open mind and listen to what Prabhupada is giving us. So then developing strong sadhana and developing knowledge, and then we'll be able to realize in our heart, we'll actually be able to realize in our heart. This, the next verse after this one, um, Rasoham Absupuntayo Prabhashmi Sasisuryo Pranavaha Savavedishu Shabdaki Purusham Nishu. The last part of the translation, it says, I am the sound and ether. The Lord is telling, I'm the taste of water. I'm also the light of the sun, the moon, everything's coming from me. I'm the syllable Om in the very beginning. The Lord chants Om, Brahma hears of syllable Om. From that, he develops the Chatur Shloki, the four shlokas that establish the four different Vedas. They're broken down into the four Vedas. I'm the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I'm the sound and ether and the ability in man. Even here, this verse, we think that we have ability. Right? We think we know so much, we can do so much. Even Pundarik saying, oh, in Jaipur, built this beautiful temple. But really, honestly, we feel we didn't build anything. We saw it happening, actually. Prabhupada left some letters that I want a Krishna Balaram temple in Jaipur. I want it should be like this. He gave some idea. And so we saw it happening. Maybe we collected a few people, the right people came together, but it sort of went on. And it felt many times like we are just running behind, trying to keep up with what's going on. It's all Prabhupada's desire, and it's all Krishna's plan. Everything is Krishna's. So here this verse is saying, sometimes we feel that, oh, it is all to my ability. Right? I've got so much ability. I can sing, or I'm a good dancer, I'm an intelligent person, I'm a good organizer. Everybody feels that they're good at something. But here, even this verse, Krishna is telling, even I'm that ability. Even you think you have some ability, even that is me. It is also me. I'm giving you that ability. I'm empowering you. So like that, we pray that we get ability from the Lord to preach Krishna consciousness and develop Krishna consciousness and practice Krishna consciousness in our own lives, right? That we can maintain and remain for a whole lifetime and go back to Godhead. That's the whole idea. So we have to accept these authorities like Brahma and Srila Prabhupada. And we have to follow. There's no use if we just develop knowledge and we don't put it into practice. What is the use of that? Srila Prabhupada said, you study 4, 5, 6 years to become a medical professional and a doctor. If you don't practice medicine, then that 4, 5, 6 years was a waste of time. You have so much knowledge, but if you don't put it into practice, it becomes worthless. So the same way, we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear from the Vaishnavas, same thing. We have to put it into practice. Then it develops value. Then the Lord may manifest in the heart. That's the system. When the Lord sees our sincerity, it's not just because I read so many books or because I chanted so many mantras or because I performed so many kirtans, then Krishna will, I will understand. It is by Krishna's own sweet will. When he sees the desire and the sincerity of the devotee, then he manifests himself in our heart. Then he makes himself aware and available. We become aware of him. The system is like that descending process, not an ascending. I will develop more and more knowledge and then I will know everything. It's not like that at all. The knowledge will come down. When the Lord is ready, then he will give that knowledge, he will give that realization and understanding. So we're very much dependent on the Lord's mercy. So this whole 7th chapter is very interesting, actually. And of course, Prabhupada mentioned the first 6 chapters of the Gita and the last 6 chapters are just protecting the middle 6 chapters because they deal with the personality of Godhead. They deal with devotional service. So knowledge of the absolute truth. And then chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge is how to perform devotional service. Who is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how to perform devotional service for his pleasure, ultimately for the pleasure of the spiritual master. So I don't know if we have any questions. I don't know if I should stop here and then see if there's any questions or any discussion points. Are you there, Pundarik?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm here. So,
So
Prabhuji,
do
the other day I was having a discussion with a person. Right, it is very much relevant to this eighth verse as you opted. Like he was telling, like, you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It doesn't have Om, but if we see other Vedic mantras, nearly every mantra like Gayatri mantra and all the Surya mantra, whatever mantra we chant, it has an Om. So like so in that he was telling that in Gita also Lord is telling I am the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. So is it just to have a mantra without Om? So to that I respond to him, Prabhuji, that actually Lord, if we read these few verses, like from the 7 to 11, 12 verses in the chapter 7, Lord is giving example like you said in the 8th chapter, he said his syllable Om. Then he's telling his taste of water, he is the light of moon and sun, he is the power, he is the potency of a man. He has all good qualities. Then 11th chapter he's telling that he is a sex life which is not adversary to the spiritual norms and like this. So I told him like Prabhuji, if you see, God is trying to affirm here, he is trying to establish that he is everything good. Like he's just giving um he's giving an idea. If you see anything good, like anything enjoyable, anything you want, desire, you can remember Krishna. So, in a way, it is he's not saying that he's the only Om in the Vedic mantras. He's telling that Vedic mantra is also him. He's the super universe and he's the subset of that. So, Prabhuji, I would like to know your commentary over it. Like, how should we deal with such questions when somebody out of the Vaishnav community or non-ISKCONite or who's not been able to touch Prabhupada books come to us and throw such questions on us?
Yeah, because people have this concept of Om as being supreme, right? That's the problem. That's the problem. That it's an impersonal concept. They're feeling that Om is something, and here Krishna is saying that I am Om, but their concept is that Krishna has come from Om. That Om is again superior to Krishna. That's the confusion. That's the mistake that's being made. Whereas this verse is clearly saying Krishna is saying, you know, that Om. I am also the syllable Om. I am not only the syllable Om, but I am also. It shows Krishna is superior to the syllable Om. The syllable Om is dependent on the Lord. But whereas when they read it, they read, I am the syllable Om. Oh, you see? Om is superior and Krishna is, they take it in reverse. And that's what the Mayavadis have done also, the same thing. They have these verses. It mentions in that purport, I didn't read it, but it mentions in the purport where that it being Svetashvara Upanishad saying that the Lord has is transcendental, he has no senses, no senses. So they take it as being that therefore he has no form. They take it that he has no form. When Prabhupada explains that, that's confusion. He has no material senses. So you need a spiritual master. You need a guide to understand properly. These people, they read something and then they're confused and then they speculate and they make mistakes. So therefore you need a spiritual guide to actually give a clear picture. How can do it? And the Lord sometimes comes himself in his own original form and speaks to the devotee. And sometimes he sends a brahmana. Sometimes he sends a qualified brahmana. So he comes in the form of a Brahmana, it says in the Bhagavatam. It's the fourth canto in the story of Maharaj Puranjana. Puranjana becomes a woman in his next life. He's the wife of the king Marudwaj. And then Marudwaj is a great devotee. His whole life he's a great devotee. And then he leaves the kingdom, followed by his wife, and they go to the forest and they begin performing austerities. And he realizes the personality of Godhead, and he's sitting and he's having discussion with Supersoul. Supersoul manifests in front of him, and he's having conversation with Supersoul. Prabhupada mentions that sometime when the pure devotee, the Krishna actually comes face to face, and the pure devotee has discussion and face to face recognition and discussion with the personality of Godhead. And then he left his body, and the wife is there, and she's lamenting, but she's been performing austerities. She's also a great devotee, and therefore she's lamenting. Now, what will I do? My husband is gone, and I am alone in the forest. What shall I do? And so then it mentions there that then the personality of Godhead comes in the form of a Brahmana to instruct her. We read that. Oh, the Lord comes, he takes the form of a Brahmana, and he comes and talks to the queen because she's such a great devotee. And we think, wow, this is so special. Maradwaj, Vishnu comes and talks to him face to face. And here the Lord appears, takes the form of a Brahmana and appears and talks to her and gives her guidance. We think that is so external, so far away from us, that could never, Krishna is never going to take a form of a Brahman and come and talk to me, right? You think it's impossible to happen, but he's done it, right? He's coming in the form of Srila Prabhupada. He sent his representative in the form of Srila Prabhupada and to talk to us and guide us. And he's given us so many spiritual masters that come. They are the representation. They are not the personality of Godhead. They are not the supreme personality, but he has been sent by them, and they are his representative. And they've come to give us that guidance as well. So just like we see these things in the Bhagavatam, we think, oh, it's not possible for me. But actually it's going on. It's there. If we're sincere, we'll see properly. So people look at these verses, they don't see properly. They have some other idea already confused, and they put that confusion onto the verse, and then they take out a wrong meaning from it. So you need to study in association of devotees. Krishna is not Om. Om is from Krishna. Krishna is not only Om. Om is only Krishna, but Krishna is not only Om. Krishna has so many other names.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Anyone has more questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Shivaguna Krishna Das. Dandar Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you for your very inspiring explanation and lecture. Prabhu, can you also please inspire us with your journey in Krishna consciousness? We would like to know. Thank you, Prabhu.
The ups and the downs? Oh. What to say? I can't say much. I joined in Australia in 1981. I came to India a few times before that, actually. I was working on a ship from Dubai. I joined the ship in Dubai. Actually, I joined the ship in London, but it was an oil exploration ship. So we were based in Dubai, but mostly out at sea. 6 weeks at sea and then 3 weeks holiday. 6 weeks in the sea and 3 weeks holiday. So every 3 weeks I came to India and just spaced out. I didn't know what I was doing, but somehow or other, I was very attracted to India. I didn't really come in contact with devotees or the Bhagavad Gita or anything, but on that ship, a devotee had been in Vrindavan. He was from England, and he'd been in Vrindavan. He got initiated by Prabhupada. His name was Pundarik, same name. And but he left and ended up on that ship as well. And he was a vegetarian. He didn't smoke. He didn't drink. He didn't, gamble. Didn't play poker. Anything. Strange guy. So I was interested. I worked with him. I thought he was rather strange, but I worked with him. I could see he's intelligent. Then I was asking him, why are you such a fanatic like this? So he said, oh, it's because of this book. And then he showed me Bhagavad Gita. He said, because of reading this, then I'm trying to follow this teaching. So then we began sitting down every night. It's on the ship, so there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. So every night we began sat down and started reading Bhagavad Gita, and like that. When I started reading Bhagavad Gita, then a lot of things fell into place because I was brought up as a Christian, and many things they told me at the church, and many things my father told me, it didn't seem correct, but they were my authority. He's the father, the Christian father. He's my own father. You know, they're an authority, so I was accepting them. But then my father would tell me the things like animals have no soul, so they feel no pain. And I would see the fish flapping on the deck of the wharf, and it looked like it was in pain. And I would see animals and crying out loudly and seem like so. So to me, I'm thinking, well, he's saying they have no pain, but to me, it looks like they're suffering. Looks like they're getting some pain. So like that, I always believed in God, but became rather. I had many questions, and in fact, I got kicked out of the Christian school every Sunday. I used to go to Sunday school and learn, and then finally they kicked me out because I asked too many questions. You know, like they would tell you that, you know, oh, you don't drink, you don't smoke, but then I would see the Christian father behind the church having a cigarette. So I would ask, "Excuse me, you said, but I saw you." Oh, troublemaker, like that. So many questions I had. Uh, the idea of reincarnation, simple idea, every Hindu understands, everybody in India understands reincarnation. I mean, the whole Asian world understands the principle of reincarnation, but in the West, it's like Christianity teaches there's one life, you get one chance. And if you get it right, you go to heaven forever. And if you get it wrong, you go to hell forever. And I'm thinking, you know, God, you say God's our father. Well, he's a pretty cruel father. It doesn't give you a second chance. That's it, one chance. So I could never really accept it. I didn't say much. So I didn't go to the church. I stopped going. I always believed in God, but I always had all these questions. But when Pundarik and I sat down and started reading the Gita, one after the other, boom, 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 all the answers, everything was perfect. It was like in my heart, it's like, yes, I knew these things. I knew this was right, but I had no information before. So when I got Gita, it was like an explosion for me. Everything changed. My whole outlook, life, everything changed. And we spent a couple of sessions on the ship because it was all about making money, a lot of money. Even now, even those days was a lot of money. And then we went, still confused on what to do. We had some knowledge what to do with it, how to apply it, where to go. Didn't know anybody else. Went to London for a while. Went to Russia for a while. Then back to Thailand, and all weird, useless places. And then back to Australia. And he had a farm. We had a small community, so there was 5 or 6 devotees living there, and they were practicing and reading and having kirtan. And I joined there for a little while. And then Pundarik became a devotee. He went and joined the temple. And I didn't realize that this book was these Hare Krishnas. I always thought these Hare Krishnas were really weird, really strange. There was something wrong with these people. Wear a bed sheet around the street and put mud on their face and shave their head. What is that? So I never realized it was the same. And then when he joined the temple, I was shocked because I was reading this book and I'm thinking, yeah, I got to do this. And then I realized I have to become like that. I said, no, that's too much. Can't do that. So I went back. I had a construction company. So I went back with my partner. I went back to working again, building another 1 year. But then I had no taste. There was no taste anymore. Just making money, spending money, making money, spending money. No purpose of life. And still reading every day and thinking, oh, I gotta do. So in '81, I hitchhiked back to Perth, and I hitchhiked the truck across to Adelaide because I knew Pundarik joined in the Adelaide Temple. So I thought at least I have a friend. And I went there and I joined 8th of January. Somehow or other.
Thank you,
Prabhu
bro.
picked me
Thank
up.
you. It was very interesting to hear that journey, your journey.
Everybody
Thank
has
you.
a nice story, and everybody's got a story how Prabhupada saved them.
Hare Krishna, Pruji. Pruji, I remember like one day, similarly, I asked you like you're born in Christianity. There you have so much liberation in the sense like it is so lenient on many things, and you come and join as a Hindu community and even as a Vaishnav, like which has so many don'ts. So you told me about aquatic gospel and other things. I would like to share you, if you are willing to share um, that thing with the devotees,
Which thing?
like the story about aquatic gospel, the Jesus, and like you come to know, and you told me like actually
Yeah.
Christianity also Vaishnavism is a part of Vaishnavism.
If you read in the Bhavishya Puran, which deals with astrology and histories, right? In the Bhavishya Puran, there's a section there that describes the appearance of Jesus Christ. It describes the time of Adam and Eve. It describes the coming of Jesus Christ. It's all listed there in the Bhavishya Puran. Everything is in the Puran. Everything is in the Vedas. So we don't really understand this concept. Whatever idea is in anyone's mind, whatever concept anybody has, whatever has ever happened in the universe is in the Vedas somewhere. And therefore we have this, even our own life, even our life is there in the Vedas, right? In the Bhrigu Samhita is there, that all the appearance of all the different jiva, and they got this, what do you call those people? They read your future. Um,
Jyotishi, sir.
huh?
Horoscope.
Astrology.
Horoscope.
Jyotishi.
Jyotish, but we have one in near Bilwara. He has that Shastra. He can open the page and he can read about
Okay,
you.
that's Nadi Jyotisham. Thumb impression, Prabhuji. Thumb
Yeah,
impression,
yeah,
they were Nadi
yeah,
Jyotisham.
yeah.
Written by Saptarshis and their students.
Exactly. So everything is in the Vedas. Everything is there. So even this description, there's a section there in Christianity. They have a thing called the Aquarian Gospel, and the Christians don't like to talk about it. And some of them accept it as one of the Gospels, and some of them don't accept it. But if you read it, it's very clear. It's about the time when Jesus was missing. I think from the age like 12 years old to the age of about 24 years old, he was missing. There's no descriptions in Christianity, but the Aquarian Gospel describes his journey of coming to India, and he lived in the Jagannath temple in Jagannath Puri. He lived there, and he worshipped. He's followed the personality that God is a person, and he lived there for quite a long time. He lived there many months. He was there, and then there was some discussion and dispute with some scholars there, who were having this impersonal understanding that above the personality of Godhead is the impersonal Brahman. And Jesus wouldn't accept it. And he had a big argument with the pundits there. And then he left and he went to Benares. And then he stayed there with devotees. So there's a whole period describing the life of Jesus as he traveled around India. You can read it. You can look it up on the internet. You can find Aquarian Gospel. Interesting things. Better spend your time reading Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Bhagavad Gita. These are all associated, but not direct. These are indirect.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, I don't know before all the commended my senior Vaishnavas and my Shiksha Gurus. I don't know speak English much more, but I cannot know in the all lifetime I can meet you or pranam to submit my obeisance to you. But now I do that in. Please accept my humble obeisance and bless me for progress in my devotional service. Prabhuji, I can't ask any questions because I don't know much more language. So please accept my humble obeisance.
You please accept my humble obeisances also. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
There's not much questions to ask, right? There's not much question. Krishna consciousness is very simple. You just do something to please the spiritual master. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else. Actually, you don't have to understand all these wonderful things. The key to success is pleasing the spiritual master. If you can do anything, any big thing, any small thing, anything, when Guru becomes satisfied, then Krishna is immediately pleased and success. So we don't really need to have so many questions, but questions are nice, interesting. Nice to meet you.
Hare Krishna, Pancharatna Prabhuji, with the permission, I want to state that if Srikumar Prabhu, I want to ask in his own language, translation can be done. He need not keep any questions in his mind when Prabhu is present here.
Very
No
true.
problem. No problem.
Srikumar Prabhu, if it, okay.
I have already my Shisha Gurus enough to hear, and I can't ask any question much more. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. How long has the group in Kuwait been going on?
From 2000 onwards, Prabhu.
2000 and?
2000 onwards.
Oh, good. It's a long time.
Yeah,
Long
a
time.
long time.
And do you
Hare
visit in
Krishna.
India as a
Thank you
group?
very much for-
And Prabhuji, Manibhushan Prabhu is like one of the founder, you can say, in Kanhaiya Desh. He's one of the devotee who is from the very beginning of the Kanhaiya Desh
Right, right.
Yatra.
Long time. Long time.
Yes,
Excellent.
Prabhuji. I'm serving here. So I'm getting this opportunity through my Guru and all Vaishnavas like you to serve the devotees. Thank you very much for such a wonderful, enlightening class and your ISKCON experiences. Thank you very much for giving your time and giving the association with all of us.
Hare Krishna, Manibhushan Prabhuji. Prabhu asked a question whether we visit India in groups as Yatra.
We used to go, Proji. Every year, earlier we used to have Dham Yatras, but this year everything is stopped. Nothing is happening. All other years we used to travel all over India. Dham Yatras used to plan.
So
Krishna
let's
Prabhu,
hope.
2017 we visited Jaipur, and we
Ah.
stayed in ISKCON Jaipur. Like we had darshan, and His Grace Raj Prakash Prabhu is here. Maybe he can. He
Yeah,
has
yeah.
arranged.
I remember that the devotees came. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. Actually,
this year we planned again to Vrindavan and Jaipur, but unfortunately this COVID situation is blocked us.
next year. Next year.
Yeah, once the situation changes, surely we'll be visiting.
Yeah, we'll look forward. Look forward. More chance of you coming here than me coming there. That's sure.
No, you can also come here when the situation changes.
I don't go out of Rajasthan. I don't really leave Rajasthan.
So thank you very much, Proji, for giving your association. So on behalf of all Kanhaiya Desh devotees, we wish to thank you by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama, Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram, Ram, Ram Hare.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
We'll be requesting you again for association. Please keep us in your schedule.
Okay, I'll leave it up to Pundarik.
Yeah.
Sure,
So
Prabhu,
we'll
we
do
would love to have you.
Proji will do Vanchakalpa. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha.
Pass in the way.
Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Pancharatna Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Pundarik John Prabhu ki jai.
All glories to all devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Pancharatna ki jai.
Ki jai.
Thank you
His
very much.
Grace Pancharatna Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu, for arranging very nice class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll meet again. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Proji, any announcements?
Regarding Prabhu.
Okay. So there is one important announcement. We just received the date for initiation. It will be on 25th of September. So those who are in the list of initiation and those who are willing to take initiation from shelter, they can contact us immediately. The interviews and all we can conduct immediately, and we will proceed for the other activities. So those who are interested, please contact us immediately, your Shiksha Gurus immediately, and we will arrange the interviews.
Maybe 25th of this month.
Those, yeah, 25th of September. Those who have completed their interviews and ready for the initiation, they will be directly contacted. There is no other formalities for them. Those that you can complete all the documents you can complete and hand over to us. So just for the information.
Prabhuji, I have received a good news. Guru Maharaj is coming back to ISKCON Delhi.
Oh, very well. Thank you very much.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Everybody.
Hare Krishna. And Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Manibhushan Prabhu, Shogana Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, Rajesh.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, the
Yes, Prabhu,
selection of verses that can be continuous, no? Like we are in the first chapter now.
Yeah, Prabhu, this is like visiting devotees, we give them some flexibility. Then our regular devotees, will contact. From where we left, we will let you.
Okay. Okay. Kanyadesh devotees will continue with continuously, and visiting devotee their choice or coordinated.
Either Bhagavad Gita, their choice actually. Yeah, we will give them like their verse or they can.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
So thank you very much for all your association. We will conclude here. So tomorrow morning we will have Bhagavatam class. Please join at 9:30. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. All glorious assembled devotees.